Hello and welcome, this is Dewey Pate here, and today I have a skip find. Now I went out for a walk on a beautiful day. If you can hear some background noise, then I've got the windows open because it's rather warm in London today, around about 24 degrees. It's Sunday and watched the London Marathon and then went out for a walk. And this was sticking out a skip. Now this is a HP thin client. Back in the day, where you would have had these on, I think you still have a variant of these in offices, and you would have one of these per desk with a keyboard and mouse and hooked up to a monitor, and then obviously to the network where you'd have sort of servers issuing all the main programs, and so people couldn't really sort of do much with their own machine. Thought strip it down and have a look. Now this looks to be water stained, so it probably would work, but there was no power supply with it. It takes a 19 volt power supply, but let's have a look at around the machine. It's fairly uninspiring. I believe these used to stand on a base station, or I think they could be actually fixed to the back of a monitor. I think these screws go through. But let's have a look at the front. Get this in camera angle. So we have the HP badge, we have a power button, headphone socket, microphone and 2 USB. Flipping it over, we have the power jack in, a comms port, mouse, PS2 mouse and keyboard, sort of old style, single VGA port, a strange external SATA. I believe it's a SATA. Not really encountered that before. Yeah, I think that's for sort of external hard drives or sort of data storage. Then 4 USB 2.0 ports, a LAN, probably 10100, might be a little bit higher, and then an antenna socket, which is nothing seems to be in there. So could even be set up for wireless. Now, to get these open is a fairly easy job. Well, to get the plastic cases off would be a fairly easy job. One screw from the top, which I removed just to double check how to remove these, and it won't go back on. So probably taking them apart is easier. I put some gloves on just to save my hands from scratching anything. So you remove the centre screw from there, and then just sort of pull off this plastic trim, and then the sides are allowed to then move freely one way. There we go. See, these all have these little lugs on there, and there is a sort of date wheel. Don't know if you can read that. I shall read it out to you. So this looks, the first one is 10. It goes 10, 11, 12, 13, then 80 and 60. So that should refer to the year. So the 10 year, and then the next date wheel goes 1 to 12, so that's a month. So it was made in the 11th month of probably 2010. So that's November 2010, and probably even a sort of time stamp. There's 1, 2, 3, or 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 to 9 with a 0, and an A, B and C, so maybe variants of them. So we're looking at November 2010, so getting on to be 8 years old. Now the next side will just come off, and that is dated the same. ABS PC mold #1SB, and then some lot numbers. So this machine looks like it probably was somewhere damp, but a little bit surface rust. It's never that bad. Flipping it over, we have this little HP code here. So we just checking it and make sure it had no usable information. So you can just see on the left where it says Thin Client. This is a model number HSTNC-006-TC. Model rating 19 volts, 0.342 amps. And then you can see spares number, limited warranty, made in China. Don't put into the rubbish, but this one technically was. So a little slip out panel there. And now we're into the sort of meat and veg of the PC. Now I've never opened one of these, so let's have a look together. Let's say this is the back because the PCB looks mounted here, and this looks like the front. So let's grab the old Magic Pro and let's see a screw remove a screw. So hope everyone is well. If you've seen my previous video about blood pressure, my blood pressure was better, mainly because my tooth suddenly really hurt and then stopped hurting and a bit actually broke off, and I went to the dentist and he said it's basically a rotten old tooth and had an abscess, so I think that might have been causing my higher blood pressure. So I've taken the other test and they seemed much more normal. But it does mean I have to go to the dentist now for a root canal, which is always unfortunate. And next week's my birthday. So right, let's open this here. So we have these screw mounts here, which pass through supporting. That looks like it. I think these could be mounted to the back of a monitor. What do they call that? A VASA mount? So let's have a look inside, see what juicy bits we get. Well, first thing up, internally there's two more USB cables, which I think, no, I thought they were special plugins for the aerial. So it looks like you could probably plug in a couple of thumb drives. Let's see if that gets on camera. A couple of thumb drives here. I'm not sure why there's two internal USBs. But let's have a little pokey. So first up we have the old CMOS battery. Poking around we have the CPU with heatsink. So it all looks to be active cooling. Now no idea what CPU is in here. We have one stick of memory there, which is in the laptop style. The what do they call it? That'd probably be DDR. There's DDR memory, wouldn't it? So look, we've got the it's a one board solution. So we have a clip here, which seems to be unpopulated. Seems to have a PCIe Express. Looks like it could be used for a graphics card. We've got a blue board down here, which 2 GB of IDE flash memory. That's rather interesting. Maybe we can pop that out. But is that proprietary? I'm just wondering. That connector doesn't look like I'd be able to. The only way to probably see if this machine's got anything on it is to fire it up, and it doesn't seem too bad, but doesn't seem too good. Got a little front mounted speaker there, which is a 8 ohms 2 watt large heat spreader. So I would say actually the CPU is probably under this one, which we will have a look. And then external things on here. So that is floating. So let's have a look under the CPU. See what it's got. Probably won't be too much. 2010. So if you want to pay your money and take your bets, what you think under here? Probably a Pentium class. 2010 could probably be sort of one of the Celeons or something. Let's have a look. Isn't that coming? Have I got all that? A little bit of persuasion. All the screws are loose. Could just be for thermal compound. There we go. A little bit of force. I see, that's all of that. Actually de-lidded the CPU there. Don't understand why that probably lifting that off and then the rest will slide out. Hopefully my hands are not too much in the way. So that's the die there. Let's have a look what we got under there. Oh, that's an Intel N200, and that's a Intel Atom chip. So was that just for the graphics? Can't be. So let's have a look. We've got the heat spreader here. Very old thermal paste. It looks like it was glued onto the other side as well. So let's have a look. That must be the main CPU. Looks to be soldered to the board, so no chance of recovering that. And then that's probably the graphics. Don't know what the let's think. Let's say that is the graphics. Oh no! I spoke too fast. Let's have a look. So that's an Intel chip, AF828011BM, or am I right, correct? Yeah. Then we have an open die here, and then a third chip there, 3 series computer, and we have the old DIMM memory. So, not really much in here. This looks fairly interesting. I'm not even sure if these will run without any network. I'm not sure. Is that more of a sort of enough in here just to process the commands and send it out to the server? I actually worked in a job with one of these, and everything was on the server and could be controlled then, so you could limit your staff to programs or files and permissions and so forth. But I thought I'd just sort of crack one open and we just have a quick poke. But interesting thing is PCIe Express slot, which was covered over by its own little protection there. So could you just run it like that with a 1080 sticking out of it? Probably not. There's no other power connectors. The power side would have been in a brick. I'm not 19 volts. I have to see if I can. 19 volts at 4 amps. It's a funny figure. I don't think I've got anything that will fit that barrel. But we will have a dig around. 12 volts. Everyone's fun. But then you'd have to step up the amperage for that. So that's a HP Thin. Opened up. Nice bit of that could probably be reused or something. Nice Raspberry Pi heatsink vent once cleaned up. So, hope you enjoyed this. I'm a duty paid even, and it's warm today. Hope you're having a good day. Stay lucky, and goodbye.